It looks like you lost another one.
Hello everyone, as usual I am Valentin and I am the participant of the team KRWBBR. Today we are on Silesia Ring, this is in Poland, and we do have a track day today. And with this video we are going to start a series of videos about our cars. And at first let's meet the most bizarre one, BMW E36. This car was bought by our team members Alexei and Evgeny last year. This car was bought for fun, for training, and potentially for the endurance racing that was planned last year. So this year we do have this endurance racing, and this year we have like the three owners of this car, like Evgeny, Alexei, and me, and we are participating in the race with this car. Also, we have plans for some other European endurance series this year, but we will tell you about them later. This car has a rich experience in motorsport. Before we bought it, it was famous in rally. The previous owner was participating in this car in rally. We frankly bought the body with a cage, with engine that was somehow tuned and was pretty normal at that stage. And also it had built suspension. It was not very suitable for our needs, but the overall body was in a good condition. So we have almost fully rebuilt this car. This has new gearbox, new engine, fully new suspension, new steering, new cooling. I think almost everything that relates to the powertrain and to the suspension is absolutely new for this year. This car, frankly, from the pure emotions, is brilliant. It has ABS, but it is a single electronical thing that helps you. And even ABS here is not fully electronical, it's more, I would say, hydraulic. It is like pure emotion, pure skill to show good times on this car. And frankly, for now, this is the best thing that I have ever driven. The only thing from my side that I would add to this car is aero. For now, we do not have the rear wing, we do not have the front splitters, but the rear wing we definitely will need to install. We really lack it, but in other cases, the car is perfect. And today, the appearance of our car changed a lot. Let's get back for 1 month and see what we have done to it. We are now in our professional body shop. You can see that all surfaces are pretty clean. The car is absolutely cleaned out. It is disassembled and we are ready to get it wrapped. This is the first time we are doing this thing. We have really a rich experience watching YouTube videos how to wrap cars. We have one professional I would say one guru of YouTube, Alexei. He will come in a few minutes. He has even the big black box of different like chemicals that we need for wrapping. Hope that it will be fun. Hope that we will not spoil any wrap because we have a paint here. We have a design and we have no chance to spoil the element. So let's get it started. We have already participated in this car in the race. It was the first round in Slovakia. We were on the second place in our class only because of the reliability of the car. That was the first time we drove this car for a long period of time, for 6 hours endurance plus 1 hour qualification plus trainings, and that was a really hard load for the car. We had the issue with the oil pan. It was a small sealing, small O-ring that was leaking, and because it leaked, the air was sucked through this O-ring and we were like smoking and not driving fast. We spent nearly 20 minutes to repair the car. We finished the race, but we were somewhere 10-12 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, behind the first place. So for this year, the E36 was planned only for the race, but I had the issues with my personal BMW M4 for the first round, and I have decided not to waste the time, not to waste the already purchased round, and I drove this E36 on the Track Masters, and that was the next day after this car drove nearly 8 hours, and I have blown up the engine. That was the very last lap of the very last session of the day, and that was 3 turns before the final straight. That car almost survived 2 days, but it lacked 1 lap. As always, I am the guy who breaks the things, but now we have new engine. We are fully sure that this one is perfect, and keep our fingers crossed. Let's have a detailed walk around with this car. Let's start with the engine. We do have a mixture of M52 and M50. We do have this long intake from M50. We do have the M52 engine that is more lightweight, but it is tuned. And the power of this one is nearly 207 horsepower on the rollers. So the power is not on the wheel, but on the engine. We have a modified intake, modified exhaust. We have a lot of additional cooling with additional oil cooler, the big one, and we frankly have no issues with the oil temperature. We have a really fat and thick radiator for water. We have external water tank for making the amount of water bigger in this radiator. We do have custom diffusers, we do have custom bumper, and that really helps us to stay cool during the racing. Also, in order to have our oil always in a place where we need it during the turns, during the brakes, we do have an external oil supply, and we do have an external oil slump. I think all the guys who are into cars and who are racing on the streets know such words as cold intake. There are many these cold intakes like Cayenne, even Turi, very expensive carbon one, but frankly, in my opinion, that they are not very cold. Here we have the thing that is really a cold intake. The intake goes from here and directly to the air filter. Air filter is cleaned and oiled before each track day, and it is separated from the engine that is really hot with this, do not know how to say, but it is really hot here and cold here. So the air is absolutely cold. Since we are participating in endurance series, we need to be sure that our suspension and especially oil inside the shocks can withstand the long time of driving. We have a BC Racing coilovers. Those are two-way adjustable. There has also the height adjustment, and they has an external tank for the oil that really helps us with the cooling of the system. And frankly, we have never issues with them. They are working pretty fine, and they give us this level of setting the car for the exact track. So right now we have Silesia, and I really lack the grip on the rear axle on the quick turns. We do have 2 quick turns on this track, and we can balance the car already on the track to fulfill our needs here. Also, we do have the coilovers on the rear axle. E36 requires this enforcement to be able to withstand the increased load to the place where shocks are built. And also the rear suspension is also fully adjustable. It is really great. In terms of brakes, we use a Ferrado DS300 2000. Those are not the best pads that I have tried, but for E36, frankly, they are enough. We use Nankang AR1 tires for the day race, and for our trainings we use it as well. It is also not the best tire that we have tried. This is obligatory to use these tires for the day race. Also, we have an additional cooling for the brakes that is really important for the endurance racing. We have an iron tube here and this soft connector that helps our steering to work, that connects this cover for the brake disc, and the air from the front inlets blows directly to the braking discs. and that helps us to drive without any stops for 6 hours. The goal of the race car to be as lightweight as possible. So our car is nearly 1 ton and 100 kilo with half tank without driver. From inside we do have a cage here. This cage without cross, it is not FII cage, it is type J. It is enough to participate in our types of endurance series, and it allows us to install these plastic windows that saves nearly 40 kilo from the whole car. Also, we have here this bucket seat. You can see that it is not street legal. It has this additional, we call them ears, that support the helmet. We do have the 5-point bracelets here. Those are for hands, and those are FII, those are like Sparco. And again, this bucket seat is also FII certified. Also, that is very important here, we do have a modified steering wheel. This one is not too stiff as I really like, but it is more stiff and more thin than the original one. While you are holding the wheel here, you have a lot more feedback from the front axle in comparison to the original one. Also, we have a short shifter. Right now car is on the jack, so I cannot move it, but it is really short. One more important thing that we do have here in the car, this is this dashboard. We do have the things that are like the most critical and the most important for the car here, and frankly, while you're driving, you have no time to watch here. For this thing, we have this zoomer. I think you can hear this sound, like blinking sound. And if we have something wrong, right now the ignition is off and the oil pressure is 0. And because of that, we do have like this warning. While you are driving, you have everything okay, but each of these sections are programmed to bleep if something is wrong. This is made for the reason that the driver is aware of what is wrong, and the driver can adjust the driving during the session to cool down, to increase something or decrease something. This car is really great in terms of cooling. It has oil cooling, water cooling, brakes cooling, the fluid for the steering cooling. The only thing that we are missing is the driver cooling. You can see here this hole. It is not finished yet. We do have everything to install the Motorsport cooling. Air will go here, and inside the tubes will go to the driver. We will have these two things from like different sides, and the driver will be able to adjust the airflow, but right now it is yet not ready. Also, we have here an external reservoir for fuel. In each type of turn, under each type of braking, acceleration and so on, we have this reservoir full of fuel and ready to fuel the car actually. And we have a powerful external fuel pump that can produce the amount of fuel like 2 times more than our car actually needs. That all is really important for us, for the endurance, for the weight, and in order to be sure for the car like in every situation. Also, we here have a very small battery. You can say that it is from motorcycle. No, it is not from motorcycle. It is a Motorsport AGM, really lightweight battery that produces the starting power the same as the original battery, and it has a capacity near 80% of the original battery, so it is more than enough for our car with reduced electronics. And also here you can see the weight reduction. This thing is plastic. The front hood is also plastic, and of course Motorsport things. I have driven only 2 sessions. For now it is only the morning for us. Our goal for today is to drive as much as possible. We need to save our car, and we need to be sure that our car can withstand the 6 hours. Before today, the best time of this car on Silesia was 2 minutes and 3 seconds, as I know. And on first 2 sessions, my best time is 2.2 already, and even low, 2.2.1. I have not started yet driving hard. That time was set with a full tank, with a passenger, and with like trying to fill the car and with the traffic. So I'm sure sure that this car can be significantly faster than it is now, and I will start to push more and more from session to session. But anyway, the goal is to test the car and not break it. Our track day is close to be over. Today the weather is very, very hot. It is more than 30 degrees. Our E36, as I said, has cooling of everything, but it lacks cooling of the driver. I am very exhausted now. Alexei took the car to try to set his time, and I do have only one session left. I have 7 laps within 1/10 of a second. My current time is 2 minutes, 0 seconds, and like 2/10 of a second. So I am in 2/10 in order to be faster than 2 minutes. And frankly, now I have the final session for me for today, and I really want to set this time. I have like 5 minutes to cool down and then race. In comparison to the Slovakia, we have couple upgrades. We do have small weight reduction. We do have upgraded lightweight wheels. We do have suspension that was set up more properly than it was for Slovakia. And now I do really feel that the car handles a lot better. Only 2 things that I would like to add to this one is a bit aero to the rear axle and a bit more transparent brake. So right now the modulation on the brakes is not very clear for me. This setup is already ready for the competition, and with this setup we already can go. We only need a cooling of a driver. That is disaster. Sadly, my best time for today was 2 minutes, 0 seconds, and 1/10 of a second. I wanted to be faster than 2 minutes, but I have not managed to. My optimum time is 1:59.3, so there is a huge room for improvement. Sometimes I made mistakes, sometimes it was a traffic, but yeah, All of these are driver excuses. So thank you for watching, and please let us in comments down below which car from ours that you have seen on the videos you are most interested about. We will film the next video about this one. See you on the next video and hope you like this one.